In this video, I will be using group policy to deploy Telegram. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and that's because there are a few bits of information here that I will be using for this video, and I will leave the URL in the description down below. The policy that I will be creating will be performing two actions, one of them placing the executable installation files on the local machine in the C program data deployment folder, and also it will create a run once registry entry for the user. And I'm using run once because Telegram is a type of software that needs to be installed under the user account, and also the installation needs to be executed by the user. And I will also set up item level targeting for each setting because I don't want to deploy these settings for the users that already have Telegram installed on their machines. Also, in the bottom of the page, you can find more of my videos that are related to this topic. For example, here you can find my Windows Server setup if you're interested in that. There is also a video about creating Telegram MSI installation file if you want to deploy it as an MSI file. And also there is a video about run once if you want more details on how it works. And now I will begin this video by downloading Telegram installation executable file. And for that I will use the link that I have here that brings me to the Telegram download page. Here I will click on Get Telegram for Windows. And then I will go to my downloads folder. And here I have my executable, so I'll right click on it, select copy, and then I will go to my VMware workstation where I have my Windows Server environment. For now, I will minimize the server manager and I will move the executable to my desktop. And from my desktop, I will move it to a network share that is accessible to my domain users and computers. And for that, I will open File Explorer. Here I will enter my file server name, it's SRV02. Here, as you can see, I have a network share named software. I will go inside of it, and here I will create a folder named Telegram. I will go inside of it, and I will move the executable to this folder. And here you need to make sure that you have the correct NTFS and share permissions. For example, in my case, if I go to Properties, Security tab, and Edit, you can see that I have authenticated users with read permissions for my NTFS permissions, and also I have the same permissions for my share permissions. And authenticated users covers both users and computers that are part of my domain, and with read permissions that means that all the users and all the computers that are in my domain are able to access this share and also execute files from it. So you need to make sure that you have the correct permissions here. Anyways, I will close all the windows here and go to my server manager because now we can start creating our group policy. And for that I will go to Tools, select Group Policy Management, then I will right click on Group Policy Objects, select New, and I will name the policy Deploy Telegram. Then I will click OK. Now I will expand Group Policy Objects. I will select Deploy Telegram and I will right click on it and select Edit. Now we need to go to the user configuration, preferences, Windows settings, and the first setting that I will be modifying here will be for the file deployment. So we need to go to the files. I will right click here, go to new and select file. Here we need to provide the source file and the destination file. The source file is where we currently have our executable, and destination file is where we want to deploy it on the client machine. And I have all the values that I will be using in this video in my GitHub page. And for that, I will go back to my GitHub page. And as you can see here, I have all the values that I will be using. So for the file deployment, we need to provide source file. So I will copy this line. And as you can see here, I'm providing the file server name, software share, Telegram folder, and also the Telegram executable file name. So go back to the Windows virtual machine, paste in here. It seems okay. Now let's copy the destination value and paste it in here. For the action, I will leave it at update. And now, because we want to deploy these files only for the users that doesn't have Telegram, we need to set up item level targeting. And for that, I will go to Common, select item level targeting, then I will click on targeting. And here I will target a registry key that is created after Telegram installation. So basically, if that key does not exist, we will be deploying the file. And if that key does exist, we'll skip the file deployment. So to do that, I will go to New Item. I will select Registry Match. I will leave everything on default in the left side. and I will only provide the key path. And for that, once again, GitHub page, I will copy this line right here, and I will paste it here. And as you can see, it's currently checking if the registry key exists, and we want to the opposite. We want to check it if it does not exist. In the end, it says exists. So to switch that, I will go to item options and select is not. And now it says does not exist. And that's what we want, because we want to deploy the file when this registry key does not exist. And we're done here, so I will click OK here and apply and OK. Now let's deploy the registry settings, and for that I will click on the registry, right click here, go to new and registry item. Here for the action I will leave it at update, and for the Hive I will leave it at current user. Now we need to provide a key path for run once registry key. For that, once again, GitHub page, copy this line right here and paste it here. Now we need to provide a value name. It's not that important, but I will copy it from the GitHub page anyways and paste it here. And now we need to provide value data that I have here. And here I'm using this variable that will convert into C program data. I will paste it here. And if you don't know how run once works, basically it will execute this line that I have in my value data for the user that has this registry key. And this value right here is basically a silent installation for Telegram installation. So basically during the logon process, the Telegram will be silently installed for that user. And once again, because we don't want to deploy these settings for users that already have Telegram, we need to set up item level targeting, and for that I will go to common, select item level targeting and targeting. New item, registry match. Once again, everything on default in the left side, and let's provide a key path. So copy this line and paste it here. I think I failed copying, so I will remove this and try again. And now it seems fine. Once again, we need to change from exists to doesn't exist, and for that I will go to item options and select is not. And now it says does not exist. So if this registry key will not exist, the registry settings will be deployed for that user. And that's basically it. So I will click OK, apply and OK. And we're done creating our group policy. So I will close this window. I will select the policy, go to details, and for GPO status, I will switch from enabled to computer settings disabled, because this group policy currently has only user settings in it. And I will leave all other settings on default, and after creating our group policy, we need to assign it to an organization unit that is holding users on which we want to deploy the software. So to assign the policy, I will click on the policy and hold, and then I will drag and drop it on the organization unit that is holding my users on which I want to deploy the software. And as you can see, the policy appeared here and also here. So after assigning it, we can test this policy on client computers and see if it works correctly. And for that, I will go to my client 01 that I have here. First, I will open File Explorer and go to my C program data folder, because I want to demonstrate how everything works. As you can see, currently we don't have the deployment folder. And let's also open Registry Editor. I will open it without administrative privileges. And here I will go to current user, software, Microsoft, Windows current version, and somewhere here there should be run once. And as you can see, this is run once, and here we have few values. It seems, if I am not wrong, it's for my Chrome browser update. Oh no, it's for OneDrive update. So even Microsoft is using run once in a while. Anyways, we don't have the install Telegram entry, and for it to appear, we need to update our group policy. So I will open command line without administrative privileges, and I will type gp update. And as you can see, the deployment folder appeared in program data. If I go inside of it, we have our executable. Also in the run once, if I refresh, we have our registry entry here. And like I said, this value right here will be executed for this user that I'm logged into during the logon process. And also, if I delete everything, and let's delete the deployment folder, and then let's update our group policy once again. As you can see, everything is redeployed after deletion, and it will happen every time until this user has Telegram installed in his profile. Anyways, everything seems to be fine. We have our executable and we have our registry entry here. And now let's see if the installation is successful. So I will close everything that I have here. And then I will sign out from this user. And then I will sign back in. I will open Task Manager to see if the installation has started. And it seems I cannot find the process. Oh, here it is. And it seems that it is done. We have Telegram desktop shortcut right here. If I double click on it, it seems to be working just fine. And now after the deployment, let's go back to the zip program data folder. And let's delete this folder. And also let's open a registry editor. The run once registry key. As you can see, currently we have no run once entries, and also we don't have the deployment folder. And let's open command line, do another GPU update to see if the item level targeting is working. As you can see, the folder is not reappearing, and same goes for the registry key. So everything seems to be working just fine. And that's it for deploying Telegram using group policy. And this deployment method works only for the software that doesn't need administrative privileges to install. Also, other advantage for this deployment option is that after we have our registry entry and also the executable file that we need for the deployment on our local machine, we no longer need access to our local network or internet. For example, if I can demonstrate that in my client 02, first I will open command line and do GPU update. And as you can see, the policy was updated successfully, and now I will modify settings for this virtual machine by disconnecting a network from it. And now it is not able to access my domain controller or my file server. And this is important because most of the deployment options that we have with group policy needs access to group policy, domain controller and a file server to perform the installation of the software. But in this case, because we have everything locally on our machine, we can download everything during the group policy update and then execute it whenever we are outside of our network. For example, now I did the group policy update. We have the executable and also the registry setting, and also we don't have no access to the internet or the local network. So let's sign out from this user and sign back in. And I will open Task Manager once again. As you can see, we have few processes running for Telegram, and it also appeared on our desktop. I will try to open it, and it gives us the starting screen. So everything seems to be working just fine. And that's it for this video. In the future videos, I will show you how to deploy Telegram using other software deployment tools. So like and subscribe if you want to see that, and see you in the next one.